Estate. You are welcome once again to Police Headquarters. We shall always continue thanking you for coming, helping us in the struggle to communicate to public out there every Monday. Today I have just a few stories, but I would wish to begin with the one which has become an issue of public interest, and it is generated around a mob justice which occurred on 5th June in Nakawa Division. On 5th June, at around 1400 hours, police registered a case of mob justice. I don't know why even I'm calling it mob justice. Actually, it's mob action in Nakawa Division in Kampala City. You are all aware that one Sidin Gongodyo, a 27-year-old male, a professional rugby player and a resident of Simbati Zone, Najera, in Wakiso District, was allegedly, it's no longer now just an allegation, but he was attacked and severely beaten by a group of mainly border riders and other members of public on suspicion of theft. As police, we responded to information as soon as we got it regarding the mob action, and upon arrival at the scene, Sydney was found critically injured but still alive. We rushed him to Mulago Referral Hospital for medical attention, where he succumbed to his injuries. A team of police officers from Kampala Metropolitan Police visited the scene and documented it. We have been carrying out a number of investigations. The hunt for suspects is on, and we are glad that the public has picked very keen interest in even identifying the suspects. So far we have 3 in custody, but more, especially those whom you see actively in participation, shall be arrested. They can't hide, or their hiding is very temporary. Now, as Uganda Police Force, we strongly condemn acts of mob justice or mob action. Such actions, and I have repeatedly said it, are unlawful. They undermine the rule of law and often result in the loss of innocent lives. We urge all members of public to restrain from taking the law into their own hands under any circumstances. If you have to arrest a suspect, if it is a must, then you must surrender them to the police without resorting to torture or any form of harm. Members of public are reminded that participation in mob action constitutes a serious criminal offense and may lead to charges including murder. We warn the public also against joining lynch mobs, as some individuals exploit situations to target innocent people with malicious intention. There are criminals out there who sometimes target their victims and disguise all that as action against a suspected criminal. So do not be lured to be part of a lynch mob. We have registered these kind of cases before. I think a case almost similar to this was the death of an accountant of, was it case case hospital. Yes, where they burnt him and tried to disguise that he was a criminal. Although in that case, the suspects were arrested, an investigation was carried out, only to realize that this was an innocent person who the criminals were simply targeting money which he had withdrawn from the bank. When I was going through the record, I noticed that in the year 2025, if you read our annual crime report, out of 4,238 cases of homicide we registered, 950 cases of them were a result of mob action, which represents 22.4%. Now, this is not a good statistic. If out of all the people who were murdered, 950 met their fate in the hands of mobs. Now, this is an ugly statistic. On 19th August 2024, I issued a public warning against mob justice. I repeated the same on 5th November 2024. The same in December 2024. I'll also remind you of notable incidents, like on 5th December, you recall, one Jacob Akankwasa, an employee of Chambogo University, was murdered in a similar manner near the Catholic shrine in Namugongo. I would like to reiterate the same voice. Of course, there are people saying, why should you only talk? No, we are taking action. The three who are in our custody can attest that they are going to face music. There are other photos that have been brought into social media space. Those fellows, I am certain we shall do whatever it takes to get them. But these are my, this is my clarion call. You will participate in mob action until when we get you and you realize how dangerous and how it can cost you your future. Equally, would like to say, give somebody an opportunity to be examined on whether he is guilty or innocent. I have already said that our experience as law enforcement officers, there are people who are entangled in these mob action or lynch mob actions. When you find the person is extremely innocent, but one, he can't defend himself. He can't defend himself. There are people when subjected to this kind of mob action, one, lose words, lose the ability to defend himself and explain their side of the story. Thirdly, usually the pain is very excruciating that the person does not even have the guts to defend himself. So we feel Sydney must have been in the same situation, where a bunch of very unreasonable fellows gang on you, don't give you a time to defend yourself, don't give you an opportunity to say anything, but simply subject you to justice, in quotes, of their own kind and measure. Now, this kind of behavior must be condemned and must be fought. There are people who have talked about the border industry. Of course, I would I would request that we tackle this matter with sobriety. The people who did it were not sober, but we should be. Now, let's not condemn the entire border industry simply because some members within the industry conducted themselves in a wanton manner. There are so many good border riders out there. It is also true that their industry is in a state of quagmire. It demands that the state comes in and puts it in order. But when all that is in the offing, let's not condemn innocent members of the border industry. Because this is exactly what we are condemning. The blanket condemnation of people is what amounts to mob action. So I saw a number of our brothers on social media ranting against the entire border industry. There are so many very good people, and this should be the message in all areas of trade. One day you find it's a police officer committing an offense. You don't need to commit the entire police to blanket sentence. It could be a journalist. It could be a Catholic priest. It could be a mulokole. Now, what public really needs to appreciate, it could be a university professor. What public needs to appreciate in common is that crime is individual. It may even have been committed by more than one person, but that person does not represent any creed, does not represent sex, tribe, ethnicity, profession, because in all those trades of life emphasize decorum, good conduct, and general good conduct. So that is my clarion call. Otherwise, I would like to cap it up by saying that the investigations are still on. Police is cognizant of the fact that this is a matter of public concern, and that we shall do everything that it takes to ensure that we hold the people who are involved to account.